Right, Alan. This little video is in response to quite a few questions that we've had both on the Wickersley Angling page and also to me personally about a little comparison, a little head-to-head between the Daiwa G90 pole and the Wickersley Angling Tournament Pro. So that's the 20-year-old model that obviously we do so well with here at Wickersley. We sell loads of them. But a lot of people ask me which is best. So I thought, just for this little video, we'll run through a little comparison, maybe show the two poles at 16 metres, and people can make their own mind up. First of all though, when we talk about price points, obviously we've got the list here of prices. So the G90 package with 7 kits is 1700 quid or 1699.
Yeah.
The original tournament, obviously you do a few packages with that one.
Different packages on that, yeah. But basically if you want a 16 metre comparison, the package on that one works out at 2,100 quid. So it is a little bit dearer, but we can also do it at 30 metres as well. But that's the nearest one you're going to get to that G90.
That package, it's about 400 quid more then. And obviously it's worth saying with the G90 there's 2 packages available, more macho, more power. With the tournament you've got all sorts of packages.
You can bespoke it or just buy pole only or whatever you want. So, but that is the nearest one what you're going to get as a comparison anyway. So
right. Before we get them up and give them a waggle then, I want to just ask your opinion, mate. Those 2 poles, which do you prefer and why?
Right, out of the 2, if I was going to pay, if I could have, obviously there's some people who have got a set amount of money, so they've only got 1,500 quid, 1,600 quid, or they can, and some people can't really go to 2 grand. So if you don't fish more than 13 metres as a rule, and you're on a budget, I would probably go for the G90, because I don't think even at 13 metres, even between an AZ Pro now, what now, 5.5 grand, at 13 metres, if I were blindfolded, I wouldn't be able to basically tell which was which anyway. So if you're not going to fish over 13 metres, there's not a real lot of, and it's you're buying a Daiwa pole for the first time, you're probably better off going for the package. We sell a lot more of these nowadays because people have already got tournaments.
They can buy pole
and they can buy pole onlys, or they can bespoke it to their old package as well. Because this one is the first one, I do believe, that Daiwa brought out, said 25 years ago, on the mandrel, which since then all the G90s,
it's changed with everything
that's been made has come off this mandrel. So if you've already got a Daiwa pole, we sell a lot of these ones because people can just buy a pole only, and they're revamping the pole, but they've got all the top kits which they've had over 20 years.
But so just to be clear, what you're saying is, if you're after just a 13 metre pole, brand new, you'd buy that. If you're after a new
but you have to buy it as a 16 metre package.
With the package, that one, what you're saying is if you've already got a pole and packaging top kits, but you just want a new pole only, that's 2 different situations. Alright.
But right, if you're going to ask me on a shootout which pole I would have out of these 2, if it's for all-round fishing, and I do a bit of commercial fishing, I do a bit of river fishing, I do a bit of canal fishing, I would go for the tournament.
Okay.
Primarily because if I do commercial fishing, or I'm going onto a river and I'm going to do some flat float fishing like I see on some of your videos where you go barbel fishing with a big flat float and fish with a lobby tail and that, I think that one's more the best all-rounder. It's stronger at 13 metres and below. Now, if you say, when people come up here and say I'm after a new pole, and I always ask them what they're going to do and where they're going to go fishing, because I like to know that first, so I can give them a pole in that kind of direction. I class the G90 as my silverfish pole, i.e. I think it's better at 16 metres than the tournament. It's a little bit lighter, so it's better for chucking around on canals and fishing for littler fish. And also, I think it's a cracking pole for commercial fishing in the winter for F1s.
It's really interesting you say that, because I mean, I think you are one of the most respected voices on poles and what tackle to buy in the country. Honestly, everything you say is incredibly credible. But with that, I mean, I've fished with that now, the G90, 3 years.
Yeah.
And I've had it in all sorts of shapes on commercials.
Yeah.
I only carry the G90 and the Air Z Pro. So when I don't use the Air Z Pro, I use the G90 with red hydro at 16 metres, dragging them out of rushes, whatever whatever I need to do. And I'm not shy.
Yeah.
I pull really hard. So
yeah.
It's interesting, two different opinions from both. I mean, that to me is a real power horse, but I know it's the same with the Tournament Pro. That's a really powerful pole.
It's obviously over the years the carbons have come on leaps and bounds, and the manufacturing processes, and that's why obviously that one got discontinued over the years, and it got replaced originally, like with the G20, the G50, and the G90s. Then these are what succeeded that one, and then obviously since these, they've come out then with the Aerities and the new Tournament S's and the new Aerity Pros. But if you were only going to buy one pole in the range, because here at Wickersley Angling Centre we have got that one, then I would probably more people buy that one.
Yeah.
But if you are a normal shop and obviously you can't get to Wickersley Angling Centre, or you come from Essex, or you come from Scotland, or you live in Wales, it's not feasible to get here by a lot of people. Plus here at the shop, we don't send out carbon.
No, of course
because
not.
we're not a mail order shop as such. For us to send carbon out, it costs us a fortune. So people either come and pick them up, or we only do the tournaments and that in house. So we don't actually sell carbon through the post. So even if you're going to go to your local tackle shops and buy just a Daiwa pole, I think value for money, that is still the apart from the tournament, that is the best value pole in Daiwa range. Because you can put that up as against an AZ Pro, which you've got.
When honestly,
and at 13 metres, if you were blindfold, even you'll be.
Well, that's what I use at 13 metres. I use my G90. I don't use my AZ Pro at 13. I use my AZ Pro.
It's very hard to tell the difference.
14.5 and 16.
Yeah.
100% agree.
Yeah, but at 13 metres or below, and you're only going to have one pole for all-round fishing, like a tournament, that is the one I would go for. But I love that pole for silverfish fishing and for like winter commercial F1 fishing. I don't think there is probably as good, better pole on market than that in the proper Daiwa range as such. Shall
I do the walk of death? And shall we go and both up at 16 and have a look?
Yeah, because I just think it's better if you do the walk of death than me. You're not going to clatter as many as I would.
Well, I don't know about that. Right.
And I know you've just done your insurance, haven't you? Got your public liability, so...
Right, here we go, folks.
Walk down there and wreck a few. It's on you.
I'm going to go behind you first, Al. So we'll have it. Before we do the walk of death, I want you to have a little waggle at 16 with a 2.
I'm just going to pull this back because with this board at bottom, it's surprising in here how long 16 metres actually is.
Oh, yeah.
Or how it looks indoors compared to when you go out. Because even when you go out on bank and you put 16 metres up,
yeah,
it don't look half as long as it does in here.
No.
So, right, this is...
G90.
G90.
Right, let's have a look.
So, as you can see on these two poles are set up with match kits in.
Yeah.
So when you do give them a little bit of a wobble, they are a little bit more, not as quite as responsive as if you've got a power kit
or a short 4, for example.
Or a short 4 in them, but they're still fantastic poles.
Right, that's that one. That's the G90 then. Have a waggle with the tournament, and then I'll do the walk of death.
You can just see, look, with the tournament, how it is a little bit more responsive.
Yeah.
Can you get? I don't know if you can get that.
It looks it slightly more in the 4th and 5th.
Yeah, it is. But obviously, it is a dearer pole.
Right.
But as I said, as an all-rounder, you can't go wrong with a G90.
Here we go, folks. Wish me
so
luck.
here we go, Tom.
Wish me luck.
Whoa! Them rollers, you don't slip on a roller.
Stop it.
Very close.
Hey, it's like it. I'm reassured as I get down this end, it's getting cheaper all the time.
We've got to do a little jump now as well. Ooh!
Like you're doing the derby, innit? Hey, you've no number 1 in this one. Which one's this? They're in. There's no number 1.
No number 1?
Steward's inquiry. Just a minute, folks.
Is it inside? You can't go inside, have they?
Let's have a look. 1 second. 1 second, folks. We'll put the phone down. We've got a steward's inquiry. Right, folks. The steward's inquiry is over, and we've determined what's gone off. What it is, obviously, the original Daiwa tournament stated length 16 metres, and it is 16 metres because of this extraordinarily long original number one.
A proper number one.
A proper old school number one. Obviously, the way that even with the number one supplied, which I don't even know whether Daiwa do them anymore, but if with them supplied now, they're supplied cut down to about here, so you lose about a foot.
Yeah.
So that's why the stated length on that is 16 metres. And what's it say on the 16 metre section of the G90? 15.8 or something?
I don't know. Can't even see it.
Turn it over. It says on the base, on the back of the 16 metre section, I think. You know, I thought it says 15 point something on it.
Oh, it says actually 16.
16, right.
Oh no, total length 15.5 metres.
15.5, and that is including.
What it is when you put now the dolly bumps onto them,
Yeah.
cut the sections down at the top, you put the dolly
Yeah, the
bump
facts
on,
in.
it takes it back up to 16.
That's right. So that's 15.5, but you can see how much shorter it is because of that being cut down. And we've actually got the power kit in now. So, with that in mind, it's good that we picked up on that because that's, I mean, I'll be honest, this is pretty much useless up until.
You want about 4 inches.
Yeah, up until here. So you're losing, well, 50 centimetres minimum off that. Anyway, let's have a waggle with that in mind. So, G90 first, Al.
G90.
Let's have a look.
G90.
You see there. Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it? And that's 16 metres.
Yeah.
Or 15 point.
15.5.
Yeah, we're out that dolly.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Right, let's have a look at the other.
Still well fishable at 16.
Oh, they're lovely. They're a really good spare pole, aren't
You
they?
know, you could still fish with that all day.
Definitely. Right.
And then we come to the stormy.
Yeah, you can definitely see it is stiffer in that 6 and 7 area. 5, 6, 7 area.
Yeah.
100% see what you're getting for your money.
Yeah.
I mean, this bit I'm not convinced about, but it's still added weight at the end, so it'd probably be even better one of the new kits on it.
Better if you took that number one out.
It would. It'd be perform even better.
Put your phone down a second, Tom, and just slip that number one out.
Yeah.
And then just put the number two back on.
Let's do that.
Because that's what most people do anyway when they buy these poles nowadays. Is they take the number one. That's why they've done these new professional kits, Daiwa.
Yeah.
Now 2.4 metres and they're just a 2-piece kit.
Right, folks, so what we've done now, we've took that number one section out.
And you'll see
So now we've got.
how more stiff it is and more responsive without that number one section in.
Yeah, so that now, imagine that bushed. That looks incredibly responsive.
Yeah, so if you're fishing at 13 metres or below on river and that, for striking them through them bigger flows, it's perfect.
So there you are, folks. Nice little preview into two of Daiwa's most popular top-end pole models. Iconic pole models.
Iconic pole models. But if you're only you can only get one, and you say you go to your local tackle shop, do not be put off with the price of this pole.
It's interesting looking at it, Alan. You can really see the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
But it's still a fantastic pole for fishing with, and it'll get out, won't it, really?
Oh, yeah. Brilliant. So there you are. Hope you found that interesting.